Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Reckless Paradise podcast. I'm your host, Dystro, and tonight's episode is another random ranking episode. Of course, on this channel, we do a lot of random rankings. We take 10 songs, we rank them from worst to best, 10 being the worst, first being the best, and it's another Van Halen type of episode tonight. This one's gonna be kind of tricky because some of them are David Lee Roth albums, and some of them are Sammy Hagar songs and albums. So yeah, let's just get right on into it. But before we get right on into it, let me just tell you the 10 songs that are up for grabs tonight is Lost of Control, Somebody Get Me a Doctor, Finish What You Started, Why Can't This Be Love, Running with the Devil, Cathedral, Black and Blue, Right Now, DOA, in 1984. Two of these right off the bat are instrumental tracks, which kind of sucks because I'm not really kind of like a big fan of instrumentals sometimes. Um, but yeah, let's get right on into it. So the first one on the docket is 1984. Is from the album 1984. This one it's a sign of the time. So let's just say that. It is a very synthesizer piano, I guess. And it just goes like right into Jump, the second track on the album. It is a good instrumental. It kind of puts you in the mindset of 1984. I mean, it's not a bad song, but it's just like one of those things where it's like I'm not really. Some instrumentals don't get me as hyped as I should be. Um, but that being said, it's not a bad song. It's just like it's just there. Number 9 is Cathedral. My interpretation for Cathedral is like it's another instrumental on Diver Down, which has some of the like transitions period of like instrumentals in that album. Because it goes in through, I think it was like Intruder into Pretty Woman and all that stuff. But I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Um, but yeah, I didn't really care for Cathedral that much. It's probably just me, but I bet you a lot of people would probably say they would prefer Intruder over Cathedral. But it's at number 9. Number 8 is Lost in Control, and it's. I'm not gonna try to knock on any of these songs because it's like it's Van Halen. Not every album or song is gonna be a banger, or gonna be a hit or miss. Lost of Control. It's one of those songs where it's like I don't really know much about the song. I mean, I listened to each one of them before this, and I kind of figured out like where to put my top 5, like right off the rip. Which is kind of crazy. um, but yeah, like Lost of Control. I'm not gonna knock on it either. I might just have to listen to it a little bit more. Maybe I'll get appreciation for it. But now for my number 7, Somebody Give Me a Doctor. This is peak David Lee Roth here. Because I had just listened to it before recording, and you can just tell like it's David's aura and all that stuff. If you guys want to know what we thought about David versus Sammy, go to the debate hour on our podcast channel. We both preferred David Lee Roth, or well, at this point, we both preferred David over Sammy because David's albums and timeline is more. I'm trying to think of it's more energetic, whereas like Sammy's more of a showman and all that stuff. I mean, they're both showmen, but it's more, I guess, David's charisma that brings the songs to life a little bit. But Somebody Give Me a Doctor, it's like, it kind of just reminds me of Motley Crue a little bit. Because with like Dr. Feelgood and all that stuff. And plus, this is around the time where it's like, David kind of becoming like that sex symbol in many ways for the band. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a good song. It's a kick-ass song too. All right, going on to number 6. Finish what you started. This one was actually another one that I didn't really know too much about, but then I listened to it again, and I actually put it in the middle, because it's not too bad, but it's not good. And I think it's perfect where it is. Um, and I think it is from OU812, which is a Sammy album. I actually liked this one and the next one that we're gonna be talking about. I liked these two songs from OU812. And there were some others that I liked as well. And we also had done an album ranking for Van Halen on the podcast channel as well. Go check that out to get our thoughts and all that stuff too. Um, I didn't really care that much for OU812, but I kind of liked some of the songs that were in it. Like for example, like Finish What You Started, Black and Blue, and some many others as well. But I think it's just something about, I guess, Sammy era of Van Halen that kind of just it doesn't suck the life out of you. It just, I don't know. It's like you gotta appreciate it for what it is. Cause yeah, it's Van Halen. It's got Eddie and Alex and all that stuff, and um, uh, God, freaking remember Michael Anthony. Michael Anthony's bass work and all that stuff too, but it just doesn't feel the same without David in it. And like we've talked about this before too. Um, but I mean, yeah, it's not a bad song either. It's not a bad song. All right, going into the top 5. This one was some of these were kind of tricky because it's like I wanted to put some over others, but then it's like don't want to knock them out of a spot and all that stuff. So I think the top 5 that I have is a good, I guess, collection of the top 5. If I could try to make it make sense here. So my number 5, excuse me, my number 5 was Black and Blue. Um, I think this was the top 5 spot for me because I actually liked the no pun intended the bluesy feel of the song, and you could tell that Eddie Van Halen was like tapping into that blues rock kind of vibe and all that stuff. And Sammy like comes in like kind of red hot too, and he's just like hey, and it just kicks off from there, and it's like 5 minute song and all that stuff. So it's like getting some like blues kind of like aura, like blues rock kind of vibe from the song for like 5 minutes straight. It's pretty good. Um, I would probably put maybe Finish What You Started over Black and Blue, but I think Black and Blue beats out Finish What You Started because of, I guess, the blues rock aspect of it. I'm just a sucker for blues rock. It just hits home for me a little bit. All right, number 4, DOA. It's from Van Halen 2, the follow-up album to Van Halen 1. This got Spanish Fly. It's got DOA, of course, but it's like I think DOA as a whole, not to be confused with the Foo Fighters and all that stuff. Van Halen's DOA. It's I'm trying to like not put this as a diss or anything. It's one of those songs where it's like it's from late 70s, 1979. And this is like when like hair metal was just becoming on the cusp of that, because like about to have Poison, you're gonna have Motley Crue coming through soon, and these guys Van Halen like kind of helped put hair metal on the map, if you want to put it that way. Because like when 1984 came out, it was like in that time period where it's like you have Kiss, you have Poison, you have Motley Crue, you have Cinderella, you have all of these hair metal bands kind of fighting for that top spot. But then you have Van Halen just going, just barreling through everybody. um, but DOA, I think it's just something about the sound from that time period in the 70s and all that stuff that kind of makes it more raw, more authentic. Because it's like if it's like remastered and all that stuff, you just don't get that same feeling with the like old school version. Because with OU 812, they have the 88 version, and then they have the remastered version from like 2023, I think. Which it's like it just doesn't feel. It feels the same, but it just doesn't feel the same. If that makes any sense. Um, but DOA number 4. I'm not gonna knock that for anything. Okay, number 3. This is right now. This is Sammy Hagar era again. And this song gets played all the time on the radio. I hear it all the time at my store. I hear it all the time in other stores. I hear it all the time on the radio. It's like it just doesn't get any. It just I hear police sirens outside. It just doesn't get enough. I guess it just doesn't get enough love. Cause it's like talking about like the way the world is and planet Earth as it is and like it's right now, right here, this moment sort of thing. Um, and it's got a good message behind it. If you haven't seen the video for it, go watch the video. It's really cool. Um, and Sammy's vocals like kind of hits home for me. Because it's like you can just feel the emotion behind the lyrics as well. Like sometimes like when you hear like just like vocals or the guitar, or the bass, or the drums and all stuff, it's like every single component of this band's like they work together as a well-oiled machine and a unit. And it's not like one's being better than the other. It's all working together as a single unit to make music and make us love music for what it is. And it's a way of an escape to some people because like if they're going through some hard times or if they're going through a messy whatever, if they had a bad day at work, they always put on Spotify or they put on their vinyl record. They always put on their CDs. They always go to their favorite songs and they just turn their brains off. They turn their brains off and they just listen to the music for like 5 minutes. Like it doesn't matter that it doesn't matter when that music kind of helps you soothe your soul. Like just earlier tonight, like I just listened to Puddle of Mud and I hadn't listened to them in a few months, so it's like it just makes it come back tenfold. um and with Van Halen's way of music, it's like it's I'm trying to think of like life changing, but it changed all 4 of those guys' lives when they first produced this album and recorded this album. Because they didn't know if it was going to succeed or not, and it certainly did. Because then they come with the follow up album in '79 with Van Halen 2. Because it was like back to back bangers, like right there. But I mean, with Sammy stuff, it's like you gotta be in the mood for it. And plus Sammy Hagar as like a musician and as an artist, I should say. He's got that vocal range that's like it's kind of unmatched a little bit. But plus, like I said, he's a showman. David's more of a showman, but he's more charismatic with his showmanship. So it's a catch 22, you know. But yeah, right now is a good song. I would recommend that to anybody to listen to it and just get a feeling for it, you know. All right, final two. This this was kind of tough. This one was kind of tough. But I had to go with this one. Number two, Why Can't This Be Love? Now, this is from, I think, 5150, and it also has Dreams on it, and which I love Dreams. It's a good song. Why Can't This Be Love is like, I've always heard that on the radio a lot too, along with Right Now, along with Running with the Devil. I hear a lot of Van Halen on the radio. And this one does not get talked about. This one does not get talked about a lot. Because it's like, 5150 is not the best album of the bunch with Sammy Hagar stuff, but you gotta respect it. But I've always had a soft spot for Why Can't This Be Love? Because it's just like, like when you're feeling love and you want to have that one person or that one girl or whatever. It's like, why can't this be love? And it's like, you're feeling this, feeling that love in your heart, and it's like you don't know if that other person feels it back, sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's a perfect ballad love song, but it doesn't feel like it's a ballad, even though it is a ballad. um, but I cannot put it at number two. Because if I did it any lower, I would put myself at a disservice. I would like freaking not be here. Okay, number one. This one's kind of a give me here. It's Van Halen One's own "Running with the Devil." Opening title track, or opening track, not title track, but opening track. I cannot say enough good things about this track. This one was kind of like when we first heard it, or when I first heard it. I was like, oh, it's like what the hell is this? And then as time went on, like I keep hearing it and all this stuff, and I just remember it from memory and all this stuff. It's just like, I live my life like there's no tomorrow, and it's like David Lee Roth's like vocals, and he comes in like just he's just a master showman, man. He is such a cool dude. And plus, like, you could just envision yourself watching that live and just seeing him like just work the crowd. Like he knows how to play to the crowd, which is like a lost art nowadays. And like Running with the Devil, it's like, it's always used in like a lot of stuff, like in pop culture and movies and TV shows and all that stuff. It's everywhere, and it's a good thing that it's still kind of alive and well today, because not a lot of people know about like Running with the Devil and all that stuff. And they're like, what the hell is this? And it's just like, oh, sit down, we're gonna have a huge discussion about this. um but yeah, Running with the Devil is my number one. I ain't gonna change anything about that, because I am very confident with my list. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Where would you rank this, or how would you rank this list? And let us know what you think. I know I probably said that already, but before I get out of here, I want to thank you guys for listening to this video. Wow, watching this video to the very end. If you have so, please make sure to follow us on all social medias in the link in the description below. We'll take you to our link tree, which will have our Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok pages, which is currently back and up and running again. Reddit page, my gaming YouTube page, which is over, it's at 1,508 right now, and growing stronger every day. Almost at the end of the month here. But yeah, and also before I forget, tonight's song of the night is gonna be Right Now by Van Halen. Since it's kind of like short, sweet, and simple, just gonna just go with right now. But yeah, that's it. And I will see you at the end of the month for a very special kind of episode. It's gonna be something that we've never done before. But you guys stay tuned to see what it is. But I will see you next Thursday. Peace!